Good morning, second grade. Happy Monday. I am so excited to read another story to you guys. This one's called Introducing South America. And just like last week when we learned about Africa and the week before that when we learned about Asia, we're going to look at South America this week and how our text features can help us better understand our text and our hard information. Nonfiction text can be a little bit difficult to get through. So our text features are there to help us guide us. Now remember, I posted a Nearpod for this week. We haven't used Nearpod yet, but if you want to go over to Nearpod, it has the same information, okay, that I'm giving you right now. It's me reading the story to you, but while I'm reading it to you, it'll stop and ask you some questions to make sure you really understand what's going on in the text. It's really cool. We're going to use it a lot in third grade, so I want you guys to kind of get used to it. If you don't like it, it's okay. Not a big deal. Don't do it. And just stick with this video. That's why I'm doing both, okay? All right, let's get going. Let's see. Introducing South America. So of course, right after our title page, we have our table of contents, right? So our table of contents, we can see all of the headings that are going to be found in our book. We have about South America, famous places, geography, weather, animal, plants, natural resources and products, people, culture and sports, countries, cities, and countryside. And remember, we can always just look to see what page they are on and then turn to that page. So if I know on Tuesday I have to read about geography, I can just go ahead and skip to page 11, right? Our glossary is at the back of our book, and it tells us the definition of our keyword. So some words are in bold like this, and you can find out what they mean by looking in the glossary. Our keywords are very important words that help us kind of understand what's going on in our story. So I know one of our keywords in the first page is continent. Well, we know, because we've read this book, well, we've read a version of this book twice now, that a continent is one of the 7 major landforms, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get going. But if we didn't know that, we can always look in our glossary in the back of the book, right? All right, about South America. A continent is a huge area of land. There are 7 continents on Earth. This book is about the continent of South America. South America is the 4th biggest continent. And there it is right there in green, right? South America is mostly surrounded by water. To the west is the Pacific Ocean. To the east is the Atlantic Ocean. A narrow strip of land links South America to the continent of North America. South America fact file. Area: 6,878,000 square miles. Population: around 400 million. Number of countries: 12. Highest mountain: the Anaconda, at 22,831 feet. The longest river, Amazon, at about 4,000 miles. All right, there you go. Sorry if you hear that in the background, that scratching noise. Sloane's playing inside of her little tent right now. She can be a little loud sometimes. All right, so our chart right here can help us better understand it's kind of like a fact, all these fun facts. It organizes our facts for us. So we have the area, and it's really easy for us to look at these facts. So that's how a chart can help us. So this text feature right here is called a chart. Let's keep going. Famous places. There are many famous places in South America. Some are ancient. Machu Picchu is a ruined city high up in the Andes Mountains of Peru. It was built by the Inca people more than 500 years ago. Tourists can visit the ruins of Machu Picchu high up in the mountains. How pretty that is. Some famous places are modern. A huge statue of Jesus Christ stands on top of a mountain near the city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It's almost 130 feet tall and was built between 1922 and 1931. Wow. So that was still almost 100 years ago. But that's still new compared to Machu Picchu that was built more than 500 years ago. So the statue's open arms are a sign of peace. So if it's Monday, good job. You've done all your reading for today. So I want you guys to go ahead and stop there and go back to EDSB and finish your assignment and your discussion post for today. If it's Tuesday, this is where Tuesday's reading starts. Geography. South America has grasslands, rainforest, rivers, deserts, and mountains. The Andes are the world's longest mountain range. It runs for about 4,505 miles along the west coast of the continent. Mount Cotopaxi in the Andes is an active volcano. Ooh, do you guys remember we read a Magic Treehouse book about a volcano? Tropical rainforests cover about 1/3 of South America. The longest is the Amazon rainforest, which grows along the banks of the Amazon River in Brazil. The Amazon rainforest is the biggest rainforest in the world. We read another Magic Treehouse book about the Amazon rainforest. Do you remember? They went down the Amazon River. So cool. The mighty Amazon River is the longest river in South America. It is the second longest river on Earth. It begins at the Andes Mountains in Peru and flows across Peru and Brazil to the Atlantic Ocean. The Amazon River flows into the sea off the coast of Brazil. South America has many large lakes. Lake Titicaca is the high up in the Andes Mountain. Tall reeds grow around the edges of the lake. Local people use the reeds to make huts and fishing boats. Reeds make good materials for making boats on Lake Titicaca. All right, look at that. So, you remember how our captions help us understand our text, right? So these are showing us that the Amazon River flows into the sea off the coast of Brazil. Well, this map is showing us the Amazon River, right? And how it flows into the ocean right there, okay? And this is showing us that the reeds are good for making boats, okay? So this is a boat made out of the reeds. Okay, so if it's Tuesday, this is where you're gonna stop. This is where Tuesday's reading stops. This is where Wednesday's reading starts. Weather. South America has many different types of weather. It is hot and wet in the rainforests. The grasslands are hot and dry. It's even drier in the deserts. Part of the Atacama Desert in Chile have never had any rain. The Atacama Desert is one of the driest places on Earth. Look how crazy this is. There's a desert right here, but you can see snow on top of the mountains. And we know that snow's just frozen rain, right? So that's water sitting at the top of the mountain right there. And look how dry it is in this desert. High up in the mountains, the weather gets very cold. It is also cold and windy at the southern tip of South America. In the winter, temperatures there can fall as low as -27 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so cold. Ice and glaciers are found at the cold south of South America. Look how big those glaciers are. Wow. Animals. An amazing number of animals live in South America. The Andean condors soar above the mountains. Giant anteaters roam the grasslands. Huge tortoises live on the Galapagos Islands off the west coast of Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands are famous for their unusual wildlife. Look how big that tortoise is. The Amazon rainforest is home to thousands of types of animals, such as jaguars, capybaras, and anacondas. There are also birds, lizards, monkeys, frogs, and insects. Many rainforest animals live in the treetops where there's plenty of food to eat. Jaguars live in the Amazon rainforest. They are fierce hunters. Ooh, he looks like he's about to go hunt something. All right, so this is where Wednesday's reading stops. If this is Wednesday, go ahead and stop there. Plants. Many unusual plants grow in South America. The Puaramandi is a very rare plant that grows in the Andes Mountains. It only flowers once in its life, when it is between about 80 to 150 years old. Then the plant dies. Puaramna flowers bloom on a giant stalk, which can be about 33 feet tall. That's so tall. Tall trees such as the Brazil nut trees grow in the rainforest. Beautiful orchids live high on the tree branches. Long vines twist around their trunks. Orchid roots dangle down and collect water from the air. Wow, so they're not even in the ground, right? Natural resources and products. South America has many natural resources. In Argentina, the grasslands are used for farming. Farmers grow crops and keep cattle and sheep. These farms are some of the biggest in the world. Huge herds of cattle graze on the grassland in Argentina. Many valuable products come from the rainforest, such as wood, Brazil nuts, and palm oil. Oil comes from Venezuela. Copper and iron ore are mined in Chile. Colombia has coal mines and it also produces precious emeralds. This miner from Colombia is holding an emerald dug from the ground. Wow, super cool. People. About 380 million people live in South America. Some are descended from Europeans who settled in South America in the 1500s. Some are descended from people who live in South America before the Europeans arrived. Some people live in the rainforest, like this man from Venezuela. Most people in South America speak Spanish. In Brazil, people speak Portuguese. Many ancient South American languages are also spoken. One of these is Quechua, which was the language of the Inca people. This sign from Argentina is in Spanish. So most people speak Spanish, right? And some also speak Portuguese, but a lot of people still know English. All right, I think this is where Friday's reading starts. Culture and sports. Sports are very popular in South America, especially soccer. Brazil has won the Soccer World Cup a record of 5 times. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil is the home of the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. These soccer players are playing in the 2011 Copa America soccer tournament. Every year in February or March, a world-famous carnival is held in Rio de Janeiro. Many of the people take part or go watch. The streets are filled with brilliantly decorated floats and dancers dressed in spectacular costumes. Carnival time in Rio is the highlight of the year. Countries. There are 12 countries in South America. There are also 2 small territories, French Guiana and the Falkland Islands. This map shows the countries and the territories of South America. All right, so the Falkland Islands are right here. And am I covering up French Guiana? No, where's French Guiana? Oh, French Guiana is up here. So this map shows us all the countries of South America. Brazil is the biggest country in South America. It is also the 5th largest country in the world. The smallest country in South America is Suriname. Brazil is about 50 times bigger than Suriname. So where is Suriname? Oh, it's right here. So you can see about 50 of Suriname fit inside of Brazil. Isn't that crazy? This photograph shows the government building in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. Cities and countryside. In South America, there are many cities where the large numbers of people live. Among the biggest are São Paulo in Brazil and Buenos Aires in Argentina. São Paulo is busy and crowded. It has many modern buildings. It also has many slums where very poor people live. Skyscrapers tower over the city of São Paulo, Brazil. Very cool. Life in the countryside is very different. For example, the Amara people live in villages in the Andes Mountains in Bolivia, Chile, and Peru. Often the villages have no electricity or running water. These children live in an Amara village in the remote part of Peru. So the buildings in the countryside look a lot different than the buildings in the city, right? The city kind of looks just like normal buildings that we would see, but I don't see a lot of the village, the Amaria village, right? I don't see a lot of those buildings in Tampa. Those are kind of different. All right, good job. You guys finished it. You guys finished the book. So remember to go back on it Edsby and finish your assignments and make sure you're doing your discussions. If you like the Nearpod or if you want more explanation on how to use the Nearpod, let me know. And I hope that you all have a great week. All right, I look forward to seeing your lessons. Bye.